Hey guys! You thought you were rid of us.
Nope, not quite.
Not quite yet.
Soon.
But because we have to do our 31 Days of Horror wrap-up videos. Plural.
Yes.
Because we have way too much to talk about to,
Put
for
it in
one
one.
video. And what we're going to do, we're going to do this like an award ceremony. Minus the bow ties and...
Famous people,
Yeah.
stages, actual awards.
Yeah, no.
No
yeah,
physical
well,
awards.
that's some leftover Halloween candy we can give
We
you.
have a lot of leftover.
Yeah. We didn't get trick-or-treaters.
None.
We couldn't give it out. But we're going to start. We made a nice little list here of just awards to give the movies that we watched over our 31 days. So if
Some of them are fun, different awards. Some of
Yeah,
them are straight
yeah.
up, best
like
movie
best,
kind of thing.
best
So
movies, type of stuff. But if your favorite movie doesn't get mentioned, don't send us hate mails because we're only keeping it within restrictions of the movies we actually saw
Yes.
in October. So there's a lot of classics not in here. There's some great. We saw some good new movies. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Overall, I was like worried that it would my soul would be crushed over the last month, but I was actually
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised that I
Once we
survived.
got past the first 10 days,
That was the hardest
rest,
thing.
the rest was pretty much smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Well, smoother sailing.
Yeah, I got a couple clunkers here and there,
Yeah.
but pretty not bad overall. So, what's our first award?
First award
Let's
is
go from bottom up.
bottom up. All
Yeah.
right, first award, best performance.
Best performance in a movie we saw this month. And what's yours?
Mine goes to Angela Bettis for May. It's very strong,
Gee.
subtly creepy. I feel sorry for her, but she's also kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's...
I think that's an awesome choice because that, like I said when we did the May video, it's something that you could only do in movie form. And I think part of
Yeah.
that was because of the acting. I mean, if you were to read some of the lines these people had to say, like in a book, like in a novel,
Yeah.
you'd be like, this is the worst written thing I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
it was done intentionally so. And she really pulls off that part. That's a really
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
part to play. And she makes you feel really awkward for her. But you're still rooting for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mine is Anthony Hopkins in Magic.
T-Hops.
Yeah, I mean, he's Anthony Hopkins, is what people call him. He's a ham, but he is a magnificent ham in Magic.
Like honey baked.
Yeah, awesome. And I think we're going to talk about why in a second. I think because I didn't realize this at the time. Well, our next award is for favorite.
Wait, we have an
Well, I do have
an honorary mention.
We have
for
an
best
honorary.
performance.
We have an honorary award for best performance, and it's for me for the cat in Pet Cemetery. That
It was
cat
the best actor
can
in the
act.
movie.
It was the best, easily the best actor in the movie. And damn, that cat was scary. That cat has double eyes. Okay. Favorite scene.
Favorite scene.
And I didn't realize it worked out this way, but our favorite scene follow along the same lines
Yeah.
from the best performance.
My favorite scene.
Makes
And
sense, I guess.
this is favorite scene. One scene from 31 movies that
It's
we
hard.
saw. It was very hard to
Yeah.
do. But actually, mine surprisingly wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. We
Yeah.
actually, before we even were finalizing it, I was kind of like, you know what? I think this is going to be mine, and it's the scene from May with James Duval where she invites him over to his house. He's the crazy punk guy, if you don't remember it.
Gets
And
some
he just got
randomness.
he's like he's got these awesome lines, and it's so bizarre, and it doesn't fit at all really with the rest of
Nope.
the movie, but it
That's
somehow works
that's what makes it
within
awesome,
the
I
movie,
think,
and
yeah.
it's hands down my favorite 5 or so minutes of the
It is.
hundreds of minutes watched this
Well,
month.
maybe I can splice that in somewhere because it's pretty incredible. Mine is from Magic, and it is the scene where Burgess Meredith and Anthony Hopkins are in this cabin. And Burgess Meredith's character implores Anthony Hopkins' character to not speak as the dummy.
Yeah,
For
not-
how long
5
was it?
minutes.
5
So
minutes.
If you cannot
Yeah.
talk through him for 5 minutes, then I'll believe that you're not crazy.
That you're not crazy. They don't need help or whatever. And it is
Uncomfortable.
very uncomfortable 5 minutes. It is very hard to watch, and it's mostly because of the acting. It's
Yeah.
just, it's unbelievable. You just feel for it. You're like, oh God, he's not gonna make it. He's not.
Yeah.
Is he gonna make it? He's not gonna make it, is he?
You can just watch him getting more and
it
more.
gets
and more.
crazier
and then
and
you start
crazier.
to get like a little more and more.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, just talk
It just-
already.
It
like,
starts out fine, but then minute in, you start like, whoa, wait, he's gonna.
because
He's
you
kinda
kind of
go
know
crazy here.
he's not gonna make it
Yeah.
through it. So you just after like the first minute or so, it's just like, okay, just get it over with because this is starting to make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal scene. I mean, Magic is, I think, underappreciated. Mostly, I never really knew about it, so I think you absolutely need to go see that movie. Best cheese.
Best cheese.
We should probably explain what this means.
Maybe if we even need to.
Maybe, yeah. The best corny, intentionally corny, I think.
Yes.
Movie that we've seen in the last month. What's yours?
Mine was really hard to come up
yeah.
with. I ended up just going.
Some good cheese.
Yeah. I ended up going with Poultrygeist, just because it's of the cheesy movies that we saw, it's the one that I can watch repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's just
It's a trauma.
You know,
so
it's
gonna have
trauma,
cheese in
and
it.
that's trauma's it holds a dear place in my heart, and to not pick it at least for best cheese, because it really doesn't deserve anything else. So that's kind of why I had to go with it.
Yep. Mine is Reanimator, which to me it was just invoking Sam Raimi's glory horror days, and it's corny as all get out, but it works. It's just it's so funny. The gore is just outrageous. The special effects are just absurd, but all that stuff together just seems to work, and it makes it a really cool movie. And I'm glad we put it on the list, honestly.
New classic.
So this one was actually kind of tough. And basically, our parameters were movie released in the last decade, I think.
Yeah, the last 10 years.
Yeah, and
so essentially something from the 2000s.
Something from the 2000s that we think will stand the test of time and become a new age horror classic.
Yeah.
So
in another, 50 or so years, when people are
People
doing
will still
what
be
we're doing,
looking at it.
This will definitely be something that shows up on their list.
Yeah,
most likely.
absolutely. Cult classics. What's yours?
Mine is Devil's Backbone.
Good choice.
It has so much of that classic horror feel, but it's still very effective, and it's modern while still staying kind of.
It's a classic ghost story. Yeah.
But phenomenal performances by, especially since they're all kid actors.
Yeah.
Very, very, very strong performances.
And it has the benefit of Guillermo del Toro,
right?
Because he's made a name for himself now, so people will go back and check out his earlier catalog of movies. Mine is The Human Centipede.
Just kind of a.
I think it's a dark horse.
Yeah.
But I think the reason for it, I think it's going to become a cult classic, mostly because the cachet it has right now, and the fact that I don't think that premise will ever not be disgusting.
Right.
And therefore never not be intriguing. There's a lot of double negatives there. But also because the performance of Dieter Laser. It's just wow. That guy is just wow. He needs to be in a lot more movies.
He was almost your choice for best performance.
He was almost my choice for best performance.
Because it's effective.
Yeah. Crazy German guy.
Dude.
Yep. Oh man. But
Not to be confused with Scary German Guy from Monster Squad.
True. Yeah. True. But yeah, I think 20 years or so, Human Centipede will still be around.
It'll be one of those ones where it's just like you've never seen this movie, you have to watch it.
You have to watch,
yeah.
It's gonna go. I think it'll go the route of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in that vein, where it started out really, really slowly. Only a handful of people have seen it, and over time it kind of picks up a little bit of steam, and people are like, "Whoa, this is." I'm actually not a huge fan of Texas horror.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Best gore.
Best gore is up next, and actually I had a little trouble with this one, but in the end, Brandon and I actually agreed.
It's a unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision for Splinter as the best gore, and the reason for it is, at least for me, the reason was because It was otherworldly. It was just, it was the most creative use, I think, of
Yeah.
special effects in all the movies that we've seen. A lot of movies like Reanimator, use special effects for comedic value.
Yeah.
And this, for me, this is the only movie, I think it was for you too, that kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was the big reason for me, is because of the 31 movies we saw, and of the 10, 15 or so that had really, really solid gore, this is the only one where I was kind of
Sustained.
like,
yeah.
I mean, it actually made me cringe. And most movies, though, I've seen so much of this stuff now that it doesn't really bother me. But that one, I mean, watching a finger break by itself and an
Yeah.
arm break by itself, that's still just
Pretty
kind
gross.
of like,
Pretty
and
damn disgusting.
it does it really well. It's so, I mean, effectively enough that I look at it and I'm just like, oh man, that's
Yeah,
nothing.
absolutely. For me, it was. I think I talked about this on the Splinter video. It reminds me a lot of The Thing, which if The Thing was on this list, it probably went for best score for me. And this movie channels it beautifully. Just this thing that takes pieces from other people, puts them together, and you have this really gross monster. And also, I think I'll add in that I think the reason why the gore was so effective was also because of the sound effects.
Yeah.
Because the breaking
breaking and
bones and
stuff,
stuff,
yeah.
I think that really sold it.
Yeah.
And the last one for this first half of our awards is Creepiest Kid Award.
Creepiest Kid Award.
Where, in the end, it was actually kind of an easy choice.
Yeah, we do have a couple of runners up for this
do-
one.
we have
'cause
a couple
wanted
runners
honorable
up.
mentions.
Yeah, and not always for creepy, just for performance.
Yeah.
But for our, this is also unanimous. Our Creepiest Kid Award goes to, I don't know the kid's name, but his character's name.
Miko something. Miko Hughes, maybe?
I don't know, the kid from Full House.
And Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
And
Pet Cemetery gets the award
Pet Sematary.
for Gage, the character, the baby who comes back
Yeah.
as a baby zombie and slices Herman Munster's Achilles tendon open with a scalpel.
Yes,
He's scary.
he is.
And the reason why The Omen didn't win, a lot of people probably think, why you watch The Omen? How is
Yeah.
that not the creepiest kids? Because if you go back and rewatch the 70s version of The Omen, that kid actually doesn't have a lot of lines or
scene
scenes.
time. Yeah, he's there. You know it's him, but
And frankly, I think he's too young to even act.
Yeah, and I think the reason the terror is induced by just inferring we know what he is, so
Yeah.
all of a sudden he has to be that creepy. But his actual performance and stuff, it wasn't.
It didn't
creepy
do anything
enough,
for
yeah.
me. The child in the remake of The Omen actually is a lot creepier than the kid in the original.
And the other honorable mention goes to
Yeah.
Young May, which I think had they spent more time with her, maybe with flashbacks or something like that, had the Young May had a lot more screen time,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been my vote, because that's just it ties in with the whole overall performance and the
Absolutely.
way May works, is that it's just you kind of see how uncomfortable she was as a kid, and it's a little creepy.
Maybe they should go back and make like an origin stories.
Yeah.
Turn May into a comic book superhero, and have a prequel where it's just her.
That's kind of what they wanted to do with Carrie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Make the
Scratch
sequel.
that. Let's not do that.
Which
doesn't
actually
work.
was Angela Bettis playing
That's true.
Carrie. They made the
It all
pilot.
connects.
We're
Wow.
good like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's it for this video.
that is. Come
Um,
back. We'll have our.
We'll have 6 more awards in video number 2, including our best overall movie for the 31 Days of Horror. And till then, we'll see you later.